What's really good, my people? Welcome into No Catch Up Sports Talk via Chicago. I'm your host, Sean Little, Big Nick the Quick, rocking with me as always. We're back. Had a couple weeks off, but we were traveling. We were doing things. We have a lot to catch up on. Super Bowl 57 recap. I was out there. I was in Phoenix, Arizona, back in my old stomping grounds. I'm going to break down the escapades that we were on. We had a lot of fun out there. Then we'll talk about the game. It was a classic. Some are saying the best ever. So we'll break that down. Mahomes gets number 2. I want to talk about the narrative and how much that changed and what could have been. Jalen Hurts balled out. He's getting ready to get paid. We'll break it all down. Then, of course, we got to talk the NBA post-trade deadline. A lot of moving pieces. What was Nick's favorite trade at the deadline? Obviously, we could talk about KD, but what was a little sleeper that he liked as well? We're going to break it all down. No Catch-Up Sports Talk via Chicago. Let's go.
Now look at Mossy. Really? Oh, so that's how you're going to play it. You going to do this? Okay, fine. That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that. And it became personal with me.
Big Nick the Quick, what's happening?
How we feeling?
What's going on?
Man, fresh off a little week
Chilling?
in Vegas. Fresh off a little week in Vegas, so always feeling good.
Right. That's right.
Yeah,
you were in Vegas.
I got out there right before the madness. It was funny. I left on Thursday, so obviously everybody was coming in for the Super Bowl. If you weren't in Arizona, you were going to Vegas for the Super Bowl, it seems like. So
yeah,
it was decent, man. Always good to get out to the desert for a couple of days. That's all you need.
It is.
It was probably one day too long, but it was for work, so it's not like your typical Vegas situation, but it was decent.
I got you. Yeah, man. I was out in the desert as well. I got to take you through some of this. I'm going to take you through day by day what I got into. It was a lot of fun, actually. We haven't even talked about it. So everybody listening to this, watching this is the first me and Nick have talked since, we both been out of town. So, you catching up with us right now. So first of all, I decided I was going to go out there a couple months ago. I was like, man, I haven't been out there. Alyssa hasn't been out there for waste management. Like, we got to go out and do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just got to go do it. So we booked the stuff. I was working around work, so I was waiting for my work schedule to come out. And then we, decided, all right, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to get out there. So my flight is at Thursday morning at 6 a.m. out of Newark. That was my first mistake, by the way. Don't ever fly out of Newark.
Do you usually fly out of Newark, or
never.
wouldn't you normally fly out of LaGuardia?
I'm a LaGuardia guy.
Yeah.
Like, I fly out of LaGuardia.
Was this to save some money, or was it just all that was available?
Come on, what you thought? It was definitely to save some cash.
All right.
It was, and I wanted to get out there direct.
Okay.
So, the direct flights out of LaGuardia were crazy.
I hate layovers.
Super expensive.
Yeah.
So I saved like $200 going out of Newark. Couple Ubers. I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah. Like that'll do. So I get to Newark. Flight's at 6 a.m. So I get there like 5:30. Guess who's at the gate of my flight going to Phoenix? There's 2 guys.
Newark, Redman.
One is Tracy Morgan.
That's hilarious.
Tracy Morgan is posted up right next to the gate with the JBL speaker playing music at 5:30 in the morning.
That's awesome. Solo?
He was with like one other guy. It looked like his assistant or something, right?
Yeah. That's awesome.
He has the JBL speaker out in the gate with the lights on the side.
Oh my God.
And he's playing music. He wasn't playing like Future or anything. He was playing like some soft, smooth, like some black man oldie shit.
But he's playing music at the
gate at 5:30 in the morning.
With the strobe light JBL.
with the JBL flashing lights off of it, right?
At least he's authentic.
Yes. Oh, this is like I wasn't shocked at all, right? So I thought that was pretty funny. So Tracy Morgan, shout out Tracy. And then I realized he was going out there, obviously for the weekend, but he was when I watched the NFL Honors to sweat some futures, he was a presenter.
Okay.
So he was going out there to be a presenter at NFL Honors, and that's where I saw him at. I didn't see him the rest of the weekend.
What if he stays in Jersey?
He might. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But I know he was out at Newark playing the JBL at 5:30 in the morning. Then when I get off the flight, I see Fabulous. Oh, wow. First guy I see off the airport. He has one guy with him. It was the most rapper scene I've ever seen. Fabulous is standing in line at Dunkin' Donuts to get some breakfast or something, whatever.
Everybody, they're all just like us.
Bro, he's standing with no bags.
Yeah.
Guy next to him is holding like 2 Go-Yard briefcases, a backpack, and another bag. I'm like, bro, you can't help my man. I'm like, you can't hold one of those just to help my man. My man's struggling right now to hold these bags.
If you're along for the ride, I'm not gonna struggle.
You're like, yo, dude, you gotta help my man with at least a backpack or something.
That's the cost of this life.
So, I mean, bro, it seemed like everybody was out there. And if you've never been to a Super Bowl, this is my first one even being like in the same city. I didn't even go to the game.
Yeah.
Being in the same city as the weekend, everybody was there.
Everybody's there.
I mean, I got at the airport. I saw Ben Baller at the airport. I saw the Earn Your Leisure guys. They were on I saw them out during the week, and I saw them on my flight home. They were coming back to New York. I mean, just anybody name them, you saw them. So the first night I get out there, I'm like, man, I should probably chill. I'm just gonna lay low. This is Thursday night. I'm like, I should just probably lay low, chill, get after it. Friday, Saturday, watch the game Sunday, and take my ass to the crib.
Yeah.
I get a call. Shout out my guy Monaco. He's like, yo, you should come through to this party. It's Charles Woodson's party. I'm like, yeah, I'm coming. Like,
of course.
So we go to this, like, it's called the Wrigley Mansion. You might have heard of it. It's called the Wrigley Mansion in Scottsdale, but that's where the party's at. It's a sick party, tons of people. I end up chopping it up with Sage Steele. She's up there. I talked to a couple other ESPN folks. They're up there. Then I started talking to Woodson. He's up there chilling. He was pushing like a new whiskey that he had. So shout out.
Of course.
He was super, super cool.
Whiskey's the new NFT.
Yeah, I talked to him I think it's called Woodson's, something like that. But yeah, he had custom ice cubes. When you think of Charles Woodson, what number do you think of?
24.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I still think of Deuce.
Yeah.
I still think of number 2. I don't know why is that? Because the Heisman shit?
Yeah, probably the Heisman shit. But yeah, I think of 24.
Okay, I think of Deuce. So
why were they 24 ice cubes?
They were 24 ice cubes. Yeah. So I was like, all right,
real quick.
This is the thing, bro. Because I was looking at them and it reminded me of Kobe too much.
Yeah,
I just thought about Kobe the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, this is Kobe. Like the font looked the same and everything.
I think 2-4. But real quick tangent on Charles Woodson. We've never talked about this, but I looked at this one time. Might be the most decorated football player in the history of all football. Won a Heisman, won a national championship, won Defensive Player of the Year, and won a Super Bowl. Nobody. All right.
It's tough to get the Heisman and the title.
It's
not
hard.
many people have that.
And that was some co-champion bullshit.
You know what? Okay, while I go through the rest of these Escapades, you should look up who has a Heisman, a national title, and a Super Bowl.
Oh no, yeah.
Like it may be nobody. He may be the
and he added Defensive Player of the Year. And did that shit at the end of his career too. Remember,
he was
did
awesome
that shit in Green Bay. Yeah, he was incredible. Yeah,
look up to see if anybody has a title, a Heisman, a college title, a Heisman, and a national football.
That's why he's the most decorated. Got to be.
Yeah, shout out Charles Woodson. So he was super cool. Had a cool ass party. Warren Moon was there.
Oh, wow.
I was talking to Warren Moon. Shout out
Legend.
Warren Moon.
OG of the Black Quarterback Club. What? Man, what? Respect.
One of the best quarterbacks of all time.
Respect.
Missed a couple years not being in the NFL.
Crawl so everybody could walk. At 41-year-old Warren Moon in Minnesota, I think he threw like 40 touchdowns or something.
Shout out Warren Moon. He was up there. So everybody was at this first party. Then Friday. What did I even do Friday? I can't even remember. Oh, Friday I went to see Alesso. You know, I was on my You would have hated that.
Hey, so if y'all travel with Sean, you always have to have one night. It's funny because we stayed at Caesars and we were right by Omni, and I was in a sports book and you could hear Omni thumping. I'm like, oh man, I remember that place.
Yeah, man. If you come out with me, you gotta have one night. I can't do hip hop. I can't do hip hop every night, man. We gotta go listen to some electronic music one of the nights. So we did that on Friday.
Marcus Allen, by the way. Marcus Allen won a Heisman, a national championship, a Super Bowl, won the MVP in the NFL and Super Bowl MVP.
Oh, okay.
Marcus Allen. A football life. Man.
Might have got somebody killed. That's a whole.
Marcus Allen?
Yeah, that's a
He's
whole
on
different.
that. He's
Come
on that.
What you mean? They said Marcus Allen might have been talking to OJ. Might have been talking to Nicole.
All these clean cut black dudes back in the day were on some other shit.
I shouldn't even brought that up.
Yeah, why'd you do that?
That was extremely petty.
Allegedly.
Come on,
Rumor
has it.
Brett Favre out here suing folks. We don't want to end up like McAfee. Allegedly.
Rumor has it. Rumor has it. Shout out Marcus Allen. Though. I did not realize he had
Heisman, NCAA championship, Super Bowl, NFL MVP, and a Super Bowl MVP.
Oh, well, then he's the most decorated. What you talking about?
So him and Woodson.
Wait, Marcus Allen's the most
Marcus
decorated
Allen has the Super Bowl
player.
MVP. Yeah.
Do you get more decorated for different types of awards?
So
because Tom is obviously the most decorated, right?
Yeah,
but
I just mean individual accomplishments.
Dante said Marcus sent the goons. No, man, just go look up Marcus Allen and OJ Simpson's relationship.
Yeah,
it'll tell you everything you need to know. But okay, yeah, that's crazy. I didn't realize Marcus Allen got the Heisman.
That's wild.
The
Marcus
MVP.
Allen was nice.
Yeah, Marcus Allen was Marcus Allen was one of the smoothest backs. He was the smoothest back before. He was like post Tony Dorsett smooth.
Yeah.
I was like Tony Dorsett.
That line of running back. Yeah.
Yes. Sure. That ilk.
Yep. The regular one cut. Yeah. Nothing too crazy. Yeah. Straight clean cut. Yeah. For sure. Shout out Marcus Allen.
Shout out Marcus Allen.
That's a crazy. That's a crazy trophy case.
That is a crazy trophy case.
Nothing else I need to do.
Yes. All right. Let me get through this real quick so we can get on to this game. Saturday, went to Waste Management. Man, you need to put this on your bucket list, fellas. Or women, whoever's listening. If you have not been to the Waste Management Open on a Saturday in the desert when it's 75 degrees and sunny in February, it is one of the best events out there right now. I think
it's the one thing I didn't do when I was out there.
Nick, I think they're gonna have to tone it down.
They've been saying that for years.
I mean, it was out of control.
Tiger wouldn't play it.
No, so now they made it a designated tournament. So you got to hit 16 of the 17. So that's one of them on the list.
Yeah.
They just raised the purse to 20 million. So all the big boys are going to show up. Shout out Scotty Scheffler for getting the W. But the atmosphere, there had to be 250,000 people there, bro.
Yeah.
Like not a green piece of grass available to stand around. We had the VIP section, all you could eat, all you could drink. It was packed. Like it was crazy. Tons of, man, especially fellas, if you're single, you need to go. And if you're in a relationship, bring your sunglasses. The dark ones. If you follow me.
Super UV.
Yeah, super UV. Whatever you got to do. But you need to go hit this event. It's a lot of beautiful people out there, a lot of fun, a lot of successful networking you could do out there. There is a golf tournament, so it attracts those people as well. It is a really dope event. Me and Alyssa went. We had a lot of fun, met up with a couple people I hadn't seen in a minute, and it was great. Then Saturday, we go to this DJ Khaled Offset concert. It's at Topgolf.
Oh, that's crazy.
They put a stage in the middle of Topgolf, and people were performing on it. It was crazy.
So could you sit up in the little things and watch the concert?
So people were in bays, like with their section, watching the concert. Our bay was right next to shout out Sarah Spain, Mike Golick Jr. They were up there. Dude, everybody was everywhere. It was crazy. Shout out my guy Minal Hassan. He was at Topgolf. King Josiah, talked to him for a little bit. He was at Topgolf. So yeah, man, it was dope. Everybody was up there. DJ Khaled ripped it. Anderson Paak did a DJ set. It was a lot of fun, man. And then Sunday, I kicked it. Oh, and then Sunday, capped. This is how I capped the Super Bowl. I was gonna watch it at my guy Max's crib. I'm like, yeah, we'll just chill out, relax. It's all good. Like, we'll just watch at the crib. Jason Hayward hits me. He's out there for spring training already. He's like, yo, I'm gonna have a couple people over. Come by, watch Super Bowl over here. I'm like, all right. So me and Max and Alyssa, we all go over there to Jay Hay's house. And Coach David Ross is there. Mike Napoli, Jock Peterson.
Grandpa Rossi.
Shout out Grandpa Rossi. Cool as hell. Jock Peterson, cool as hell. Mike Napoli, cool as hell. So we were just kicking it. It was dope, man. I had a really, really good time. So highly suggest finding a city. Go to Miami. Go to Phoenix. The only negative thing I have to say about Phoenix is the shit is really spread out, bro.
Yeah, of course.
you're trying
You're
to
all
catch
over the place.
Forget about you better be plugged in to try to catch two
You
parties in the same night.
For sure.
Because the amount of traffic and shit that was out there was crazy. But it was a lot of fun, man. I had to just tell y'all the Escapades real quick. It was a lot of fun. Shout out everybody I saw. It was a lot of fun, man. Everybody was super cool out there. So,
dude, so I'm of the belief that the Super Bowl should really rotate between 5, maybe 6 cities. Like, I think
what you got? Vegas.
So we'll go Vegas, Phoenix, New Orleans, Miami,
LA.
I don't really need to go anywhere else. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. Like, that's really it. Miami, New Orleans, Phoenix, LA, Atlanta. We can go to Atlanta. You could go to Dallas because of Jerry World, but you can also have Dallas. I don't need it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, if you go between those places right there, because it has to be a spot, like you said, and I guess with Phoenix, LA, and not really Atlanta, but Phoenix and LA, you're really spread out. But, you know, like you said, if you can get around, you can get around. But really, those cities, the weather is always going to be nice.
Yeah.
Good-looking people are already there. You know what I mean? The scene is already there. You're just bringing it to you. Same thing with All-Star. Yeah. Same thing with National Championship. Like,
you don't want to go. You don't want to go out to Salt Lake next week?
I've been to Salt Lake many a time. It's beautiful. Like, great place to take your family. Like, if you want to take your lady to like a beautiful vacation, go to Salt Lake, go to Park City. Like, it's gorgeous. It's not a place to party. Yeah. It is not. Like, far from it. So, like, I think All-Star Weekend,
they'll make it work. I mean, it's hard. Make it work.
Yeah, that place is different, man. It's a little bit different out there.
They'll make it work.
A little bit different. It'll be decent, but either way, yeah, you should just rotate between those 5 spots, and I'm good. Like, even you don't need it in Chicago. You don't even need it in New York. It's too cold, especially if it's a winter event. We don't need it. Like, when that All-Star was in Chicago, it was cold as hell. That's
one of the best All-Star weekends of all time, though.
It was freezing.
It was awesome. I had a great time. Shout out, man. Yeah, man. Yes. Yeah. Bring everything to Chicago. I'm never talking that
I'm with it, but it's cold as hell.
But yeah.
I prefer the sunshine.
All right, let's get to the game. Super Bowl 57. Mahomes gets it done 38-35. A classic, as they say.
Of course he did.
Oh, of course he did. Here we go.
Of course he did. Of course. Who?
Just an awesome performance from both, because we talked about the black quarterbacks coming in. We called it the black quarterback bowl, and they both showed up and showed out. Played extremely well. Jalen Hurts made one mistake, and he literally made one mistake, and it cost him 7 points.
Yeah,
it's brutal. He literally made one mistake the whole game. It cost him. It cost his team 7 points. So that's super tough. Right, but I want to talk about Patrick Mahomes first and foremost, because this is how big of a deal that win was for him. He's now 2 for 3 in Super Bowls instead of 1 for 3.
And who did he lose against?
He lost to Tom. Yep. Look, listen. And he lost to Tom Brady. And he has 2 Super Bowl MVPs now. He has 2 MVPs. He is a first ballot Hall of Famer today.
He was last week.
If he hung it up, you could argue. People would argue that.
It was last week. He was
People would argue with you on that.
They're stupid.
I think some people are
Super Bowl Hall of Famer Thursday night.
So, okay, all right. This is because
Hall of Famer.
Yeah. So
look, all day.
So look, he gets second Super Bowl, tucked it away. 2 Super Bowl MVPs. He's 2 for 3 in games, 5 straight, 3 Super Bowl. You know the whole thing, right?
Everything.
Now, this is how big of a deal that win was. If he loses that game, he then is 1 for 3 in the Super Bowl after making it to 5 straight AFC championships, never playing in a road playoff game. All that stuff is going to start coming up. This guy's never played a road playoff game. He's been to 5 straight title games, and he only has 1 Super Bowl. And he almost lost that. They barely beat Garoppolo and the Niners. He could barely beat Jimmy G for a title. Now he's 2 for 3 in the Super Bowl. His only loss is to Tom Brady, who's the best ever. It was just such a massive narrative-changing win was what I was thinking about when I saw Pat get the W, holding up the trophy. That was the first thing that came to mind. We talked about it coming in, and it was very impressive what him and Andy Reid were able to do. Now, before I let you go, last thing I'm going to say is We talk about this program all the time. The most important thing in football is a quarterback. And then number 2, we would talk about left and right tackle. Then we would talk about an edge rusher. I've changed it. You need a quarterback and you need an offensive head coach. Everything else is secondary. Period, point blank. You are absolutely not going to win in today's NFL if you don't have an elite, top-tier offensive mind on the sideline. That's it. That's all. Then we can start talking about protecting the quarterback, because apparently if you got a guy like Andy Reid, you don't even you can go out there on air. Is what it looked like to me. So that's the new lineup for me. How'd you feel about the win? And then we can start talking about the overall game, the nuances, and then we'll get over to Philly too.
Real quick, don't disrespect those boys up front for Kansas City after Sunday. They did their motherfucking thing. That was the key. That was Andy Reid. I understand. Listen. I get it. Look, I don't want to hear it. Listen. You're talking to Mr. Quarterback and you're talking to Mr. Andy Reid. I believe in Andy Reid. I'm just telling you, going into the game, the number one thing that everybody talked about was Philly's defensive line this, Philly's defensive line that. They got 5 guys with 11 sacks. Fletcher Cox has 7. All these guys are going to get in his ass. Mahomes' line has been shaky at times. He got hit last week, yada, yada, yada. They did not touch that man at all on Sunday. So we got to start with that. But that's
Andy Reid has a big reason to do it.
Sure, great. But those guys still have Andy Reid's not blocking anybody on Sunday.
He damn near is with the shit he was drawing up. He damn near blocking.
We've watched bad offensive lines, and you could have the best play callers in the world behind a bad offensive line. Sometimes it does not make a difference. But I give Andy Reid his flowers, of course. Did you see the second half of that football game? Did you see what the Chiefs were doing in the second half?
They
see some of the plays they were called? Do you see how many guys were wide open? Did you see the Tony touchdown? I mean, yeah, of course. That's all Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes. And let's talk about Pat Mahomes, right? You said, had he not won that game, had a couple things went the other way, we're having a completely different conversation. But that's the point. For so many guys, it goes the other way. For the truly elite guys, for those top tier guys, right? For those best of all time, for those Hall of Fame, not even just Hall of Famers, because there's going to be guys who couldn't get it done. They're going to make it to the Hall of Fame. But when we truly talk about those elite guys, that's what it is. It goes his way, right? He loses over the last 2 to 3 years. He has lost all of his top targets. All he has left is Kelsey, right? Running backs has been out. Kareem Hunt looked like a great player. He gets in trouble. He's out of there, right? Tyreek Hill, they can't pay him. He's out of there, right? Whole host of other guys, in and out. We'll bring you Sammy Watkins. He's gone. This guy, that guy, whatever it is. Patrick Mahomes keeps getting it done. Outside of Travis Kelce, his number one receiver was Juju Smith-Schuster, who was an outcast of the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are a terrible offense. Like, these are the guys that
wore one of the worst Super Bowl outfits I've ever seen in my entire life.
What was that? Terrible.
It was a complete F.
Hey, AB told us about this guy years ago.
It has nothing to do with the skirt kilt either.
Yeah. So 100%, man. Like, so listen, it's different, man. I'm not going to pile on your boy Rodgers or anybody else who seems to not be able to get it done when it matters. And that's why I do make such a big deal about that stuff, because when it matters, when you have the chance to write your own narrative, when you have a chance to seal your history, Patrick Mahomes gets it done. The second half of that game was Patrick Mahomes getting it done. He looked like he was about to be out for the rest of the game in the second quarter. I mean, listen, man, whatever. Say what you want. It wasn't Paul Pierce level shit. But either way, look, man, the way he came back out, they scored on every single possession in the second half. They were down 10 at halftime. If I had told you the Chiefs were down 10 at halftime, you would have been like, oh, it's a wrap, right? Not with the way the Eagles play. They're going to control the ball. The defensive line is going to get after it. None of that mattered. Let's also do this. Please, I'm so happy that we can now finally kill the narrative. Oh, you can't win a Super Bowl if the quarterback takes up 35% of your salary cap. I don't want to hear any of that shit. Pay your quarterback and figure out the rest.
You really can't, because only Mahomes is typically doing that.
Yeah,
nobody else is making.
Listen, the narrative is over. Hey, then he truly is the narrative flipper.
Mahomes and Reid, those are the boys that can take up that much of the cap. They were running. They had the most snaps from defensive rookies on defense. They had nobody playing skill. It was an Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes master class.
Third most snaps of any team of rookies of any team in the NFL behind the Bears and the Texans, who were
awful teams. It was a master class from Andy Reid.
Even the run plays that he was calling. Shout out Pacheco. Pacheco was huge in that game.
Yeah.
Huge
Runs
in that
angry.
game.
Runs
Runs
angry,
angry,
dog.
gets chunk yardage, made huge
No
plays.
Matt Forte and Pacheco.
Look, talking about McKinnon, Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney with a massive punt return. Kadarius Toney was gliding on that punt return. Watch the last 15 yards that he got on that return. He was gliding through the defense.
Yo, forget about the last 15.
This guy look at the move. Out.
Go look at the move he makes to get back outside.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right after catching the touchdown, which was a great play call by Andy Reid. Mahomes is completing shit to Kelsey while he's falling down. This guy is different. This guy is the best I've ever seen. I don't want to hear any talk about any other quarterback. Like I said, Tom Brady's the greatest of all time because, again, you want to talk about when shit could go the other way. 7 different times it went his way, and that's happened for nobody else. But for Mahomes on pure talent, I've never seen anything like it. And Sunday cemented that. This was an elite defense that he was playing. An elite defense. In the second half, he chopped them up.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Jalen Hurts on the other side, also playing outstanding football, ridiculously good offensive football, it would have got ugly. Flawless football, except for the one flaw that you talked about. Right?
Hey, so this is what it comes down to. I thought about this going in, but I've been on the Eagles. Every show I was on, I gave out the Eagles. So I stayed on the Eagles. But when it was coming push to shove, I listened to this interview from Deebo Samuel on Super Bowl week. I was watching it live, actually.
Shout out Deebo.
Shout out Deebo. He was on like some CBS show, and they asked him about it was with Pac-Man Jones. I can't remember the interview.
Yeah.
They asked him what he thought about the Eagles defense for real. Like, what do you think about the Eagles defense? He said secondary trash. That's what he said. He said Darius Slay. I got respect for Darius Slay. They said, what about Bradbury? He all pro, both sides. He said that boy is trash. He said the only reason they're the number one pass defense is because of that front seven. You slow up that front seven, that secondary is trash. And you know how sometimes you can tell when someone's just like spitefully talking shit?
Yeah. Like
he doesn't like them, so fuck them.
No, he knew what he was talking about.
He knew what he was talking about. And the way it came off was like, I'm a little salty, but it's more like, here, I don't think they're that good and they're overrated, and here's why. So if these guys, and we've seen that in years prior, if the front seven is so good that it makes the secondary look good and covers up a lot of things.
What have I said every week for the past 6 years that we've done this podcast? You build your team from the front because it can mask up a whole bunch of other shit. You have a strong offensive line, you have a strong defensive line. Guess what? Your linebackers are better. Your secondary is better, right? Like
running backs that aren't that good.
Running backs that aren't that good at picking up yards. You've seen it for years, right? You fix the front line for sure. It cleans up so much other shit. The flip side of that is when it's not very good, people get exposed, right? Yeah. So when they're not putting on that pressure, and again, that's why we got to give it to the Chiefs. Shout out Dante. He called out that if you remember that Super Bowl against the Bucs, Mahomes was running for his life. They fixed that offensive line, play calling, personnel, whatever it was.
A couple injuries going in that year.
Yeah. Play calling, personnel, whatever it was. When Mahomes had the time to do his thing and he's not on his back, because again, I've yet to see the quarterback that can throw from his back. If you find him for me, let me know. I'll sign him right now. That's the difference for sure. And the secondary looked real average. And you got Mahomes back there. It's a different story.
Yeah, it's a different story.
Unrushed Mahomes and unhurried Mahomes.
Yeah, forget it.
Forget about it. I don't care who he's throwing to.
Pack it up.
Back it up.
Back it up.
Shredded them 24 in the second half. And don't talk to me about the holding penalty. I don't want to hear it. He was shredding those boys up.
It's a bad call, but yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I don't agree with the call, but yeah, it's up to you.
It was a penalty.
Whatever,
it was what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So interesting. I was shocked that the Eagles got worn out like that on the defensive side of the rock. But
track meet.
It was a master class from Andy Reid, bro. It was just he had them all locked up. Orlovsky broke it down crazy with the motion.
Yeah.
It was just a master class from Andy Reid.
And shout out our guy Eli. I watched the game with Eli, and he came over, and the first thing he said was, "It's going to be a Mahomes dink and dunk." I'm like, nah. And if you look at it, Mahomes 21 for 27, 182 yards.
Yeah, that's what it was.
182 yards. All that 182 passing yards. The rushing game was the rushing attack that Reid scripted up. It was Shanahan-esque.
The game literally went the exact opposite of how I originally thought it would. Yeah. I thought that the Eagles would run the ball for a bunch of yards, hold on. They won time of possession because of the first half. Yeah. But if you would have told me Hurts was going to throw for 300 and Mahomes, with two quarterbacks, one was going to throw for 300, one was going to throw for 187. I'm like, okay, yeah, well, that's obvious. It's Mahomes versus Hurts.
Yeah.
And if you'd have told me one team had more rushing yards than the other, it's like, yeah, it's obviously the Eagles, but the Chiefs did. It's crazy. It was completely flipped. So yeah, man. Shout out everybody on Kansas City and what they got done. Let's talk about Hurts real quick. First of all, it's time to pay.
Yeah, of course.
Now
he shouldn't show, and I'm not even being funny. He shouldn't show up back up in the city of Philadelphia without a contract.
Well, of course.
Where are you from? Wherever he's from, you should go back there right now.
Texas.
Go back.
Not to be heard from until some paper. Tell it scribbling.
You boys better throw on your cowboy hats and your boots and come and see me on my ranch. You know where to find me. Giddy up.
That's the next thing you should. That's the next thing you should hear from Jalen Hurts.
Lose my number unless you're coming with the contract. That's it. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. So
not a chance.
That is the next point here, and I am just, I don't know him, so I don't want to say I'm proud of him, but man, I just love. I was a Jalen Hurts hater when it came to passing the rock.
Big time.
I didn't think he could get it done. I'll be honest with you, and I have it on wax.
Very critical of Jalen Hurts.
I just didn't think he could throw it. I just didn't see him being able to. He hadn't thrown it for. He didn't throw it at Bama. He didn't really throw it that well at Oklahoma. I'm like, how is he going to come in the league and throw it? And he proved me and a lot of others wrong. Completely turned it around. Looked sensational in the Super Bowl. Shout out Jalen Hurts. I hope he gets a ton of bread. Anything on Hurts, the Eagles, you want to talk about?
No, pay that man. Give him his money. He's obviously a franchise quarterback. And we talk about, how he carries himself. Every story that seems to come out about Jalen Hurts. This is going back to Alabama. I think he graduated from Alabama when he was like 20 or something like that. Graduated in like 2.5 years. So by all accounts, just a great dude, hard worker. Clearly put in the work to get that good.
Clearly.
Like we watched him in tons of big spots in Alabama. It's not like we don't watch a ton of college ball. We watched a lot of Jalen Hurts because he was always playing in big games. Alabama, Oklahoma. Great athlete, seemed like a great dude, but could not throw the ball. Couldn't throw the ball when he first got in the league. Last year, made some improvements on throwing the ball. This year is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So if you talk about the trajectory and clearly he's putting in the work, this isn't accidental. Pay that man. Don't even think about it. Pay that man.
Absolutely.
It's easy. Pay him and figure it out. Yeah.
High character dude. Shout out Jalen Hurts for the year.
And if you're Jalen Hurts, again, don't show back up in the state of Pennsylvania without a deal.
How would you?
And that's not selfish.
How would you improve Philly?
How could you?
I don't even know.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
I think they just got beat. Sometimes sometimes it's like you try to like look for too much in it, and it's like, how would you improve Philadelphia? Don't play Patrick Mahomes in a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? I don't really know what else to tell you. Like anybody else, they would have beat. I actually had money on Philadelphia, and I ended up getting KC plus 5.5, so I ended up covering my losses on that. But I thought Philadelphia was going to win going in, and I'm the biggest Mahomes guy on the planet. We've been saying for years about Mahomes, right? We can go back and always check the film. There's no negative Mahomes conversation ever been on this podcast since he started playing football in the NFL. Not a piece of it. You can't find it.
There's literally when we.
I got smoke for everybody.
They're not talking about the best quarterback in the league, and we wouldn't even name Mahomes.
We don't even talk about him.
After
the first year.
He was number one.
Yeah.
And so we were just basically talking about everybody else in the league because he was out of the discussion.
I don't even want to talk. I don't want to talk about it. So like, yeah. So, but even I went heavy on Philly. I was like, yeah, man, I can't see a situation. And I think I was sipping the juice as far as their D line's going to kill them. They're going to maul them. If they get back there, it's going to be an issue. And he just doesn't have like the Tyreek Hill safety valve, or not safety valve, but like,
Oh yeah, shout out Dante.
Situation, but yeah,
He said Miles Sanders got exposed. That boy didn't touch the rock.
Not
First play, he fumbled it out of bounds.
What's his face? Other dude was way better. Boston Scott.
Gainwell was better.
Gainwell, yeah,
Boston
Gainwell.
Scott was
Boston
better.
Scott was better. Yeah.
Yeah. For a guy that had 10 touchdowns or 11 touchdowns or something like that during the regular season. Yeah, that wasn't the answer. Real quick, this is the last thing I'll say about the Super Bowl. Everybody in the AFC, y'all better take the regular season seriously as hell.
Yeah, you don't want to go there.
It better be the Super Bowl every week. Because if you got to go to Arrowhead, pack it up.
MCI, baby.
It's over. If you have to go to Arrowhead and play the playoffs, it's a wrap. Patrick Mahomes has never played a road playoff game. Get that dude out of Arrowhead.
Yeah.
Is the only way you're going to beat this man.
And you still might not win.
And you probably still won't win. But if you want to have a chance,
don't go
you better make him come to your place.
It's a very loud building.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
If you have to go to Arrowhead and play the AFC Championship, only people that can keep up with those boys are the Bengals. When they're locked in. And I'm going to tell you this. You cannot give Andy Reid an extra week.
Nope.
It's curtains for that.
Yeah, for sure.
So you need to make him play every week and not have no buys, no extra time off, and not play an Arrowhead to have a chance to beat Patrick Mahomes. That extra week
is all impossible.
In Arrowhead is you're a dead man.
It's all impossible, which is all impossible because they're going to win. They're going to win 13, 14 games every year.
You got to win 15 then.
Listen.
That's what I'm saying. When I say you have to take it seriously, the Bills need to go 15-2 minimum next year.
And we talk about how they played all these rookies this year. Guess what happens? Naturally, what should for a lot of them, they'll be better next year.
Yes.
And guys will want to start to come and play with Patrick Mahomes.
This was the worst version of the team.
Yeah, look at the Juju Smith-Schuster. Trash. Kadarius Toney got kicked off. It's hard to overstate. He got kicked off of a team with no wide receivers. He's a wide receiver. Brian Daboll said, "I'd rather have no receivers than a first round pick from 2 years ago." Get this guy out of here.
Out of here.
I don't want him in the building.
Yes.
Him and his hooded face shit. I don't want any of that in the building. I want
these sparkling teeth.
Yeah,
get this motherfucker out of here.
That looks like plies. I don't need him. Get him out of here. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Yeah. So that says a lot. So these are the guys, and I get it. Travis Kelce is all world. Travis Kelce is on the Gronk mantle of greatest tight ends of all time, right? Like he's there. He's there.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, but other than that, there's not a lot. You didn't know who Isaiah Pacheco was 10 weeks ago.
No. Honestly,
you didn't know who he was.
Honestly,
3 weeks ago.
There was times this season I would, as soon as he would get the ball, I would have a flash that it was Tyreek getting it from the 10, from seeing 10. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, that's Tyreek. I'm like, oh no, that's Pacheco.
Pacheco. He looked like Tyreek. Yeah. He looked like Tyreek the other day.
So that's
it's
what
problematic,
the AFC,
man. That's
the
what
AFC needs to, bro. You cannot have a guy that's played 5 seasons in the NFL and never played a road playoff game. That shit is unbelievable.
It's insane.
So you need to get him out of Kansas City as soon as possible.
And it's just probably not possible.
That man,
look at the quarterback. And it's not like the best quarterbacks reside in the AFC right now. You got Allen, you got Burrow, you got all those guys. You know what I'm saying? Philip Blunt, he did a double.
Shout out Patrick Mahomes Sr., man.
Burrow, you got all these guys over there. You got Rodgers. Rodgers might be coming to town. I don't think any of it matters, dude. I'm not saying he's going to win the Super Bowl every year because it's hard to repeat, but they're going to be a problem every year. What I'm saying
is that you saw lulls during the regular season from the Chiefs. They got to go to overtime with the Texans. They can fuck up and fuck around in the regular season.
And they still won
13 games. As an opponent, every week is the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
bro,
you can't lose.
Because you cannot lose. You
cannot
go to Arrowhead and give Andy Reid a week off. You're dead.
Yeah.
You're done. That's it. I don't care who the defense is.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You're in trouble. Yeah. So you need to win 15 or 16. This is how you beat Patrick Mahomes. You have to play at home in the playoffs to have an even chance. That's it.
Possibly.
And end the conversation. To even have a possibility of winning. That's what it is.
Well, let him start doing his little shoulder shrugs and shit. Then you know it's over with. When he starts getting his little
putting his tongue out
spasms.
and he starts
walking
fast.
It's like we does a little penguin walk. Yeah, it's over with, bro.
It's over with.
He starts getting confidence. He gets the twitch. It's over with.
He starts doing all this and shit. Yeah, dog. Yeah, Pat. Listen, you in trouble, dog.
He's different.
Yeah, he likes that. No doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt about that.
Just wait for that man to retire, man. It's over with.
Yeah. Let's go over to the
MB.
Yeah, no, real shit. Pat Mahomes.
Andy. I'm not coming back.
I need 3% of the franchise, bro.
Hey, the Hunt family. I need equity.
What are we talking about? I'm
past an employee. I want ownership.
I will take that. I'll bring this whole shit down. I need 3%.
I'm gonna need that. Yeah.
Whatever. Draw it up.
I need that.
Player owner.
Do that David Beckham MLS deal.
Player owner.
When you die, you transfer 25% of the shares to me. I'm not coming back next week, man. See how much your franchise is worth then.
Yeah, y'all remember what that 8-8 felt like?
Ask Dan Gilbert what happened when LeBron left, man. Yeah, exactly.
Y'all remember that?
Hey, I remember Alex Smith? He's still available.
That's funny. All right, let's
shout out Chad Henne too. Super Bowl champ.
Shout out Chad Henne, man. But it's like year 18 coming up.
You know, he retired.
He retired?
Yeah, he retired after the game.
Why?
It's done.
Why? For what?
The accounts are okay. He's unscathed. He played a couple weeks ago and he was sore as shit the next day. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm good."
If I was Henne, I would have pulled up. I would have been in year 26 behind Mahomes.
Like Fitzpatrick.
I'm ready.
Fitzpatrick kept coming back to get a check. They're like, "Another check? All right, fuck it. Yeah, I'll take a check." It's gonna be another 12 months. Yeah, for like $4 or $5 million. Why not?
Yeah, man.
Chase Daniel, all these guys are living great.
By the way, you do need a backup quarterback out here in the NFL.
Yeah, you do.
Because just what we were just talking about, there's going to be a week where Tua gets a concussion or Josh Allen sprains an ankle, and you still need to win those games because you can't play the Chiefs in Kansas City on a bye week.
Speaking of backup quarterbacks, this is a complete left field question. Is Carson Wentz a backup quarterback, or is he out? Can you not have him inside of the locker room?
What? Because he's too big of a person. What are you trying to say?
Because he's just too awful.
Oh no!
Does he settle into backup land? Do you think?
He's gonna.
Ultimately, you don't want your backup to make mistakes, and that guy's a mistake waiting to happen. So
you have to have The thing about being a backup quarterback. This is the thing. Boy, let me explain.
Why does Carson Wentz have to be in the NFL?
Let me explain.
What has he done to be a have-to status?
The backup quarterback. You have to accept being a backup quarterback before you can be a backup on somebody's roster. If mentally he doesn't think he's a backup, then he got to pack it up. Like Cam Newton.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
Pack it up.
Belichick cut him as soon as he didn't make him the starter.
He's too big of a personality, too big of a dude, too big of a stature to be a backup. I don't think Carson Wentz is like that stature guy, but if he still doesn't believe he should be a backup, then he can't be there. That's the first thing. That's the first thing that has to happen when you're trying to.
We're talking about Baker, right? Yeah, that was the Baker conundrum.
Yeah, exactly. You're not. He thinks he can play. He thinks he's the one.
Yeah, you don't want him. You don't want him in the locker room.
And you don't. You just
his time.
Yeah, it's my. Yeah, I could have made that throw.
That's some bullshit.
Anyway, on to the NBA post trade deadline, man.
What a deadline! Hey, first off, man, let's apologize to the people, man. We weren't on last week. Obviously, we had shit to do. It was crazy. You know what I mean? But we didn't think that KD was going to go to Phoenix with everybody else this week. Last week.
So everybody in the entire league made a trade. Except the Chicago Bulls.
Yep.
They looked
literally everybody except for the Bulls and the Cavaliers made a trade.
They looked at that roster and said, "Yeah, no, we're good.
This is a good looking team.
This team will compete." And
then came out and said it's a playoff roster.
Yeah, it's nonsense.
Unbelievable.
I don't know when like these Chicago front office people and owners are going to learn. You just can't spit in Chicago fans' face.
Sure you can.
No. But I'm saying, like, that's when shit starts going south. Ryan Pace, as soon as he started spitting in people's face, shit starts going south. When you start giving Boylan extensions, you're spitting in like, yo, man, hold on. Y'all gotta go, bro.
Yeah.
Come out and say, hey, we couldn't find the deal that we want. Something. Don't tell us this is a playoff roster. We're scoring 90 points a night and we can't keep up with the Magic. And we've blown 5 20-point leads in January alone.
Was that how many it was?
To be honest, I think it was 4. They blew 4 20-point leads in January, the Chicago Bulls. So don't come out and say shit like that. This is a playoff roster. No, it's not.
And then you're 100% lying to people because you watch a game last night and that team came out completely dead. Throughout the entire game, the Chicago Bulls were dead. They were corpses from the very tip last night, like the entire game. And you're playing against the Orlando Magic.
Also, what is this shit in Chicago where we can never hear from the GMs?
Yeah.
What is that about?
Eversley?
I don't even know what Eversley's voice sounds like, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
We don't hear from Karnisovas.
He spoke last week. That's when he said that he still believes in the playoff roster.
No. I heard that. I'm saying. But before that, when's the last time you heard him?
No, never.
The last 2 times I've heard Karnisovas speak were before the season started when Lonzo Ball, and he gave us some bullshit with that. And then the next time I heard him speak was last week.
Lonzo Ball, who you and I knew in the summer.
We're like, yo,
in the summer, this
isn't
right. This isn't right. None of this is right. Nothing around this. Last year, it wasn't right. In the summer, it wasn't right. Before the season started, it wasn't right. And you still chose not to go out and get any help with the point guard. Your solution was, we'll just make him a point guard. You don't just make somebody a point guard in the NBA.
And he's been playing his ass off since he showed up.
Yeah, that's all he can do. Yeah, but he's not a fucking point guard.
It's his fucking second year in the NBA.
Second year. He's a second-round pick.
You're like, yeah, man. So, So
no, for real. Like Eli gave us that good list of things you could actually blame these guys for. I wish we had that up.
I got
now.
it. I'll pull it up right now.
Pull that up. And like, I just want to add on that the Lonzo Ball situation as far as not getting any help at the point. Your solution at the point guard position was a 38-year-old Goran Dragic. Like that's what they tried to do to us, man. They didn't try to retool this roster at all. You knew you had holes. You knew you had things you had to fix. You have zero shooting. What did they make? 1 3 last night, I think it was?
None. They had no shooting. They were 3 for 23 or something from 3.
Yeah. Ridiculous. Absolutely no shooting. No help at point guard. This team's been looking for a point guard for 15 years. Since D Rose got hurt.
Okay, here's the list.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Karnisovas' moves since he's been with the Chicago Bulls. Patrick Williams pick. TBD. But right now, it doesn't look very good.
He doesn't look like the 4th pick in the draft.
He doesn't look like the 4th pick in the draft, that's for sure. Pull up that draft and see who comes behind him just so I don't mess up any names. Then we have the Vucevic trade, a disaster. Trading Markkanen for nothing.
Salary.
I mean, I will say this. I was in the camp of like, this guy needs to get out of here. I don't know who the fuck that dude is in Utah. I've never seen anything like that in my life, Nick. Can you think of anybody else? Can you think of anybody else?
Completely different guy.
That turned
he's
into
an all-star. He's an all-star.
This guy looks like I don't even know how to have a comp for him. He's lights out from 3. He's now going to the cup and he punched this. Nick. The last 2 years with the Bulls, I saw him dunk. Nick, the last 2 years with the Bulls, I saw Lauri Markkanen dunk maybe twice. This motherfucker punches everything. He like leads the league in dunks.
In the Pat Williams trade and the Pat Williams pick, the only pick that you really could have made, I mean, it was a terrible draft. After him was Okoro, Hayes, Toppin, Denny, Jalen Smith, Devin Vassell. But at 12 was Tyrese Halliburton. Well, people loved Halliburton coming out, and everybody thought he slipped. And you need a point guard.
Yeah.
How good would Halliburton look in this situation right now?
And I'm going to tell you this. Yeah, well, Halliburton is sick.
Halliburton's a fucking hooper.
Yeah.
All-star.
They got PGs out the ass over there in Indianapolis.
Yeah, they really do.
Low key. Signing an injured ball. A lot of people were out on Lonzo's knee before that. That was a big discussion coming out of New Orleans. Was his knee? We bypassed it. We signed him. He played really well. His knee is now
done.
I would not be surprised if I never saw Lonzo Ball again.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, man.
Yeah,
Usually,
it is.
injuries like this, it's never, and it's not like the D Rose thing that was mental. Like D Rose mentally couldn't clear those mental hurdles.
Yeah.
This is physical with Ball. They say he has pain. They said the other day they said he's talked to 6 people and no one knows where the pain is coming from.
I remember we got an update and it was Lonzo Ball having less pain going up the stairs. I said, this is the guy we need to run the fast break?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's having trouble going. Fuck basketball.
Yeah.
This guy can't even buy groceries and walk down the street like without pain in his knee. What are we talking about? All right.
Yeah.
So then we extend Zach LaVine. It's going to go down as one of the worst contracts in Bulls history.
Oh, God, he sucks.
It's going to go down as one of the worst contracts in Bulls history.
He sucks.
We came up with this 3-headed monster in DeRozan, LaVine, and Vucevic, and we've dug in on it. And we should have gave up on it at the deadline.
Were you pro extend Zach last year, though? You were, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. I was a little hesitant.
Watching him this year when it's all going bad is fucking. I mean, you see the reports around the team. They say him and Billy Donovan's relationship is terrible, and that all the other players are siding with Billy Donovan. It seems to be Zach versus everybody, and he looks like it's Zach versus everybody out there.
Yeah. So to recap, Patrick Williams pick, not looking good. Vucevic trade, disaster. Marketing for nothing, bad. Signing injured Ball, bad. Extending Zach, bad. I've talked about this player development thing for the Chicago Bulls.
Dalen Terry.
Dalen Terry.
18th, and he played great last night. He was the only player that brought any energy last night. But overall, you're just not playing this guy. And for what? And that's on Billy.
Yeah, well, we know where I'm at on Billy.
Let's find out. Another extension. Billy got an extension too.
Yeah.
One good year, Billy got an extension. But why are you not playing Terry on a team that's lifeless? On a team that's literally dead.
Listen,
on a night-to-night basis.
Nick,
why are you not playing?
You have to believe you're lifeless. You have to believe you aren't good. These dudes think they have a solid basketball team. They don't.
Not watching the film.
They're just not. They're spitting in our face. That's what I'm telling you.
And now DeMar's hurt.
The team. Yeah, and we'll talk about guys getting hurt like LeBron. We'll get into that stuff here in a second because I really want to talk about that. By the way,
LeBron.
Yeah, because I mentioned that. I mentioned that 2 months ago.
He broke the record.
I said he's going to break the record and pack it up. He scored 38 at will, and now he's hurt.
He packed it up that night,
bro. He's at the Super Bowl. Like it's over for that season. Pack it up. It's done. He's not.
Like I told you, I pounded Thunder -1.5 after the 10-minute LeBron scoring speech. I was like, "There's no way the Lakers win this game."
So yeah, man, the Bulls situation is not looking very good. How many times have we talked about this, Nick? Where you make a bad move, don't be afraid to move off of it. Yeah. Like GMs in the NFL, yo, this quarterback's not the guy, bro. Move off this dude.
And these guys who have become less attractive to other teams the more they stay in our roster and stink it up. Like Zach LaVine is going to be less attractive 4 months from now. DeMar DeRozan is going to be older and less attractive 4 months.
The highest value DeRozan and Vucevic were going to get was at the trade deadline.
Yeah,
that's it.
How you didn't move Vooch? Teams would have given you something for Vooch. You could have got something. I mean, look, Vooch is serviceable, and teams need size going into the playoffs.
17 and 10.
Yeah, teams need size going into the playoffs. So teams need bigs to play. There's a few teams that would take him.
He can't switch, though.
That's fine. Give send to Boston.
No, that's a problem. Like in the playoffs, that's an issue.
Yeah, that's fine. You put him in spurts. He's a 12 to 15 minute guy then. Neither can Kevin Love. He's going to get bought out and go somewhere.
Yeah,
these guys are going to show up and play some minutes.
I agree. I agree.
He can score. He can score and rebound. He can score and rebound.
You got to get him out. Yeah, I mean, you had to get him out of there. I don't know what they're doing. It's just it's a
At
very
the end of a playoff
team.
bench, Vucevic has some value. And in regards to giving up a second for him and some fluff, you just get him off the roster of the Bulls. You're not re-signing this guy. Don't tell me you're re-signing this guy.
Yeah.
For DeMar, I love DeMar. The DeMar DeRozan fucking 3 months last year was amazing. Like when peak DeMar was great. But whoever said it last night in the chat that like it's getting kind of old just watching everybody stand around, 100%. And the problem is when DeMar's not DeMar like he was yesterday, like he has been recently, guys are just used to standing around waiting for him to do something. It's either Zach or Zach is just doing something stupid. So it's terrible to watch this team. Your assets are becoming less appealing by the day, right? Kobe White is the bright spot. He's actually hooping.
Well, I'm telling you, man, that's
the
player
him.
development.
Yeah,
if
it's been terrible.
I'm terrified. We
Kobe
move
White's gonna go
off
somewhere else and be
we
scoring
move
25
off
points a
Kobe
game.
White and Pat Williams, and it's Lauri Markkanen and Wendell and all the rest of these dudes. Really quick, I want to go back to the Lauri Markkanen thing. Nick, help me. I have never seen anything like this, bro. This motherfucker is a completely different guy. He looks like a bona fide star in the NBA.
He did do the year in Cleveland, so we got to give it that. He did have
but he still didn't look like that. Was it the Finland? Is it the foreign ball? Bro, he went to
Utah in a no expectation situation. There was no pressure starting the year. It was you're our guy.
He's still scoring 28 a night on 8
Yeah.
boards, and he's punching shit on everybody.
Hey,
he's tip dunking and shit.
It's something about the Bulls. Guys leave the Bulls and they're good players.
That's the problem.
We either miss terribly on picks, or guys leave the roster and they're good players. Who's the last draft? Is Jimmy Butler the last draft pick we hit on?
Yes.
No, realistically, as a franchise, is Jimmy Butler the last pick we hit on?
Yes. Who else would it be?
I'm trying to think. If anybody in the chat wants to let us know, I can't think of a player we've hit on since Jimmy Butler.
Look it up.
And that was Tibbs development.
2023 NBA dunk leader.
And
Hold on, let me see this.
So the fact that they looked at this team in the trade deadline and said, we're not even going to make a fringe move. We're not going to make any type of move. We're not going to bring in a young guy. We're not going to try to grab some second round picks. We're not going to try to shed a few personalities, whatever it is. We're just going to completely stand pat and give you the same thing. And what have they lost? 3 straight since the trade deadline? I know they've lost 4 straight overall. I want to say it's 3 straight since the deadline. And like you said, man, they're selling us the bullshit. Now they're getting up there. They're lying to us.
Now they're lying to us.
They're telling us it's a playoff team. They're telling us they're pretty much coming up there and acting like we can't watch basketball and just make that determination with our own eyes.
Yeah, they're saying they're saying we're idiots.
It's a playoff roster. We promise you. Like, come on, man. This is a basketball town.
Yeah, so
you can't lie to us.
Yeah, I can't find the dunks number for some reason on the time sheet, but yeah, man, it's all bad right now. So stay tuned.
And you got the stories coming out again. Once the stories start coming out, Zach versus Billy, Zach versus teammates, all that started to trickle through. You remember the same shit started happening towards the end of the Tibbs era and guard packs. Now they start leaking shit. It's not us, it's them.
Yes, 100%.
It's classic.
All right, let's talk about the rest of this trade deadline. Well, let's move off the Bulls. Let's obviously talk about Kevin Durant is now in Phoenix, along with Bubba Warren, TJ Warren. Nets get Bridges, Cam Johnson. I watched the Nets last night against the Knicks at the Garden. And the Nets have so many fucking wings. It's like unheard of. I don't even understand. It's like they got to figure that out. But they get 4 ones?
Yeah.
5 ones? They got 5 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones and 2 twos. Because Milwaukee sent over some picks as well.
And a pick swap and a couple picks from Milwaukee.
Yep.
The Suns get Kevin Durant, TJ Warren. Nets get Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, 2 very, very good players. The Bucks finally get our boy boss man 99 Jay Crowder.
Yes.
And the Pacers
we've been screaming at the top of our lungs for that.
Pacers get the perpetually traded George Hill.
Yeah.
Serge Ibaka, who's still somehow only like 32, and some cash considerations and fluff picks. So I mean, massive deal. Obviously, I was at the casino when this broke, happened at 1:30 in the morning East Coast time.
Yeah,
I was shocked.
I was just about to go to sleep.
Yeah, I called you. I was like, "Hey, KD to the Suns." I was shocked when I saw the deal. I thought it was awesome that the Suns made this deal and we're still able to keep Aiden. Right? Like, we love Bridges. We obviously love Cam Johnson, but everything that Bridges and Johnson brings can be made up by Kevin Durant.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, Cam Johnson's a great shooter. Kevin Durant's a greater shooter.
And they're going to add everybody in the buyout. They just added Terrence Ross, right?
Yeah, shout out Terrence Ross, finally free. Been a bucket for a long time.
They just added Terrence Ross.
You're getting Booker back now, right? Booker comes back tonight. So you're looking at Book, Paul, Aiden, and KD out west. Like, I love this deal. This is called going for it. You get a new owner. As soon as he gets approved, he makes a massive deal. I love everything about this deal.
$40 million over the luxuries.
Yeah.
That's a guy that wants to win. He's $40 million over the luxury tax.
No hesitation either. Literally, They said he signed it. An hour later, they make this deal. I love it. And again, I can't say it enough. Like not giving up Aiden, being able to hold on to him. Say what you want to about Aiden. This is now less offensive pressure on him. Hey man, run the floor, block shots, get rebounds, do your thing. You'll be just fine.
I can't stress enough how Kevin Durant is back in a situation where he's not going to see any doubles.
Never.
Devin Booker's not going to see any doubles. What are we talking about? It's a bucket. Chris Paul is going to look to his left and see Kevin Durant. He's going to look to his right and see Devin Booker. And then there's going to be a big dog Ayton down there waving when he gets a mismatch.
Oh, he also doesn't have the burden of having to initiate all the offense.
They are going to be
very similar to Golden State.
They are going to be very dangerous. I hope they could get how many games are left, Nick? 22, 23?
Yeah, 20 something.
If I hope they get 15 games together before they go into the playoffs. I would love to see that. Right now, minus 170 to win the Pacific. That's behind the Clippers and the Kings. That might be a spot where you could. I know 170 is expensive, but they've been playing. They've won 7 of 10 without KD and Book.
Yep.
They were already coming. So I love the pickup for Durant. Any other thoughts on the Nets situation? I was standing right next to Sean Marks. I wanted to say something to him last night, but obviously I thought.
No, I just think it's funny that after all this dust settles, you're gonna have a bunch of picks, but all that's left of this whole thing is Ben Simmons. Like,
oh man, I watched Ben. First of all, Ben
Simmons still on the roster. This guy.
Did you watch the game last night?
No, I was watching the Bulls and I was watching Dallas and Minnesota. I had Minnesota +6.
Okay, good shit. Way
too big.
I went over there, watched shoot around. Ben Simmons 100% shoots with the wrong hand.
Kevin O'Connor's been saying that for
years. I knew he'd been saying that. I went over and
he's been on this for years.
I literally was standing 6 feet from him. I was standing under the basket while Ben Simmons shot free throws. First of all, it's almost as bad as Joakim Noah. The ball spins sideways like this. And he looks like he's shooting with the wrong hand.
Is he just that stubborn of a guy?
It really does look like that.
I'm sure a coach has told him before you're left-handed.
Now, I will say this. He's shooting with his left. That's the problem.
I mean, or you're right-handed, yeah.
Also, he is huge. Like almost a 7-footer. Like he should be killing people, bro.
Big too, right?
He's huge, bro. He's massive. Humongous. So yeah, man.
No heart.
That's a really interesting situation. I think he only played 11 or 12 minutes last night.
Yeah, he sucks.
He was basically buried on the bench, and then he played like another 6 or 7 minutes to close the game when they were down 15.
And I guarantee you they tried to trade him this deadline, and no one bid at that. They still owe him 2 more years, another $40 million per. That's one of the worst contracts in the NBA.
Any sleeper deals that you like here? Kennard to the Grizzlies, I think, is a little bit of a sleeper because they need shooting.
Yeah.
The what's up with that Warriors Gary Payton II? Has he cleared the?
Yeah, it went through.
It went through. Okay.
Well, they said the Warriors doctors looked at him, they're like, this dude can't play for the next 3 months.
Yeah.
But I think that'd be a weird situation because then you essentially salary dumped Wiseman and you have to bring him back into the fold would be strange. So they might have just said, fuck it, we'll take GP.
Okay. Now, anything else you want to talk about before we get into the Lakers?
Yeah, because part of it is part of that Lakers deal. So let's get outside the Lakers part of it.
Yeah.
And let's just talk about, I think that move for the Timberwolves was sneaky, very, 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 very smart. I think with D'Angelo Russell, first off, he was redundant on their roster. They don't need another scorer. And if you watch the Timberwolves, they played dumb basketball, and D'Angelo Russell 1,000% contributed to that. I think getting Mike Conley in there is going to have that same type Pat Bev effect that they had last year, where you just got to get a smart vet with those guys. You watch Cat, you watch Edwards, even though, like I said, I had the Timberwolves +6 last night, so I was watching that game. The Timberwolves were up 20 at the beginning of the fourth and almost lost that game just due to Kyrie being ridiculously hot, but also them just doing dumb shit. Man, what's going on out there? It sounds like a purge out here in New York. Yeah, so I think getting D'Lo out of there, bringing in Mike Conley, a smart veteran that's going to help them make smart plays, play smarter basketball. They didn't need D'Lo. They can already score. I just really like that move for them.
Yeah, I mean, and he apparently apparently, if you play with Rudy Gobert for 15 games, you don't want to. That's about the That's about the cat.
That's it. Yeah, I'm done.
If you play with Rudy Gobert for 20 games, it's you don't want to play with him anymore for whatever reason.
It's so funny. I was watching last night. He literally, I forget who he had guarding him in the post. It was someone obviously way smaller. And Rudy's just like this. And they look him off every single. You won't possession. Even any other big in the league. I think even fucking Luke Cornett gets a look in that situation. You just look him off like, nah, hell no.
Every time that he scores, it's on a putback.
Yeah.
Or he's running a break and they get him the ball on a run. I haven't seen Rudy Gobert touch the ball in a half court set in a long time.
Ever.
So yeah, that is. But yes,
but I do really like that move. I really do like that move for them because again, you get a dumb player out for a smart player.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the Lakers right now. Right? They go and get D'Angelo Russell. I love the Malik Beasley pickup. Yep. Vanderbilt's also another guy that can play some D. Yep. And they also go and get Rui, who's been playing well since he got over there. He runs the floor, plays hard. So that's, to be honest, has a better mid-range jump shot than I realized. He's been playing all right since he got over there. Now, LeBron, let's talk about LeBron. Now, how do I say this? They go and make some moves. Russell Westbrook wasn't working. The attitude that he was bringing wasn't fitting. We saw the videos of that, them doing team shit, and he's not being a part of it. It wasn't working out there. He had to go. You don't think that's a
no,
thing?
No. Just real quick, in his defense, if you listen to Russillo, had a great take on this on Simmons Pod last week, where almost like kind of what do you expect Westbrook to do? They really railroaded him. They've been publicly trying to trade him since last year.
Sure.
LeBron was campaigning for Kyrie, which was obviously to get Westbrook out. They made Westbrook sound like he's the worst. Like, it's almost like after a while, Westbrook, who by all regards has always been considered a good teammate. You can say what you want to. He shoots terrible shots, whatever, but you've never heard that Russ is a bad teammate.
Russ is an awesome dude.
Yeah. You've never heard he's a bad teammate until this Lakers experience. I feel like, again, it's hard for me to say bad shit about LeBron, but I feel like the way LeBron handled this was like it is bullshit, dude. You've seen it this year, like just whole LeBron experience, and like they really tried to treat Russ like he was shit and publicly campaigning for him to get traded. Like, what's he supposed to do? After a while, it's like, fuck it. And then the vampire quote, he said, "Oh, Russ is a vampire in the locker room." It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, I agree 100%. But what I'm saying is,
either way, he had to go. Yes,
it wasn't working. Like the shit wasn't working.
Couldn't be there.
He had to get out of there, right? So they move off Russ. Honestly, the only negative thing about Russ is he can't shoot and he won't stop shooting jump shots. He's similar to I'm not even going to go there.
He's like the anti-Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons won't shoot, but you want him to. Russ can't stop shooting, but you don't want him to. Like if you put Russell Westbrook in Ben Simmons' body, you might have the greatest basketball player ever.
Yeah, switch the head.
Like,
switch the domes. Switch the head.
Going for it every fucking time.
Yeah. So that wasn't working. They had to move off. We'll see where Russ lands in the buyout because he's definitely not playing. If he suits up for a game in Utah, I will.
Not a chance.
I'll jump off the Brooklyn Bridge.
Not a chance. He's not coming to Salt Lake.
Yes, he's not playing in Salt Lake. All right. So they make these moves. LeBron is okay. Well, I guess what I'm getting at is just like we were saying, he's clearly campaigning for Kyrie. Yeah. You're telling me he's packing it up if Kyrie's in town?
And then,
no. What is going on here?
It's weird shit.
What's going on here? He literally scores 38 at will.
AD
breaks the record, throws a party, takes the night off the next day for whatever reason. He comes out and does a ceremony before the game.
What was that?
Then
what was that? No. Stop. What was that?
What, not playing and having a ceremony?
Speech after we had a 10-minute speech in the middle of a basketball game that you lost, which, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
The opening ceremony speech the next night, as if you're like some Laker legend, to me, that was the most bizarre a couple nights later. That was the most bizarre thing that I'd seen. Bizarre.
My guess is it's something that was already planned.
It was
I don't
bizarre.
know. Whatever.
It was bizarre.
He comes out with his family.
Savannah, you're the real MVP. It was like, it's also 10 minutes too long. It was cringe.
Hey, also, I gotta have my. I know you're LeBron, and this ain't nothing a big deal, and you the cool guy parent. My older son can't come out there in a Nike Tech fleece. What was that about either? Too? I'm wearing a suit.
Yeah, bro.
Savannah's dressed up. Yo, you gotta
look respectable.
Yo, what are we talking about? Right,
big ass head.
Yeah,
Ronnie got the biggest head I've ever seen in my life. Folks' face is big as fuck. I'm not gonna lie to you.
But yeah, you can't put on the Nike Tech, bro. You're gonna have to put on at least something that's presentable. Dude. I know you're a teenager and all
too
that.
Comfy, man.
But yeah, we're not doing that.
Throw on the suit. You got the best designers in the world at your dispense.
He comes out and he does a ceremony the next game. He's out. Then now he's injured.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen him at every single event since he broke the record. He's at the Super Bowl the other night. Been at a couple parties.
Did you see Bron out there?
No.
Is it possible to see Bron? I think you got to move in a whole different avenue to see Bron.
I think similar to everything else. This might sound bad, but I was around lower level celebrities.
You wanted Bron's aura.
If I had access, they weren't top tier dudes. You know what I'm saying? So like I saw Khaled, but it was at a concert.
Yeah.
I didn't see Khaled like walking around.
Khaled.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I wasn't the same. Like Charles Woodson's a little different, but
for sure.
He's not like a mega superstar.
No, it's not
you know
LeBron. I get it.
Like
you didn't see
Drake,
Denzel.
LeBron. I didn't see any of those dudes.
They're somewhere
I didn't
else.
know where they was at.
No.
But so okay, because what I'm saying is you couldn't convince me that he wouldn't be ready to go and trying to make a push to do anything if Kyrie was around, right? Do they have a chance to make the playoffs? They might no. Like they weren't going to make the playoffs either way, right? But still, he's packed it up this entire year. When they went and made some moves after he was campaigning to get Kyrie, I just don't get it. It doesn't seem like he's going to play the rest of the year, and I guess he's going to come back next year and try to retool it. But I literally said this couple months ago on Buckets for the Action Network. I said LeBron's going to break the record. He's going to pack it up. And that's exactly what he's doing right now.
For sure.
Hey, and he's done this a few times, bro, where he's just taking the rest of the season off.
Yeah. He
did
his first year in LA when he was like, Lonzo Ball and Kuzma and Clarkson. Like, I'm not playing with these guys.
I'm not playing with these dudes.
I'm not playing. Hey, you guys figure this out. Let me know. That's when he was sipping wine on the sidelines.
Yes, he's literally walking in the tunnel with a glass of wine and a bottle in the middle of the season. So I get it. Year 20 LeBron.
He had a plastic glass of wine.
No, it was glass.
Oh, it was glass?
He was holding a wine stem. On the bench, all right? So I get it, year 20 LeBron, and I love LeBron, but he's not playing no extra games he doesn't want to play. Well, so he's completely packed it up this year. I guess that was – I mean, to me, it seems like that's always the plan. That was always the plan.
Well, and I think that's why – so, look, everybody made a big deal out of that Anthony Davis, how he looked during the LeBron shit. I think that was 100%. I think that locker room is toxic. Every reporter that came out of that game was like, hey, great for LeBron, but you could not get over how toxic the situation is for the Lakers. I think AD is over.
Well, that AD shit was obvious that something's not right.
Yeah, AD's over here like, this dude's having a fucking party. We're losing to the fucking Thunder. We're about to lose this game. He's out here trying to get us all traded. You know what I mean? And like Russillo said, he's like, when you're with LeBron, you're just kind of pawns in his situation. And when he feels
100%.
that he doesn't need you anymore, either it's never his fault, right? He's going to blame you, whether it's subtweeting, whether it's weird interview shit, or whether it's publicly campaigning for them to make trades in the media. So it's kind of like you play with them and you're going to be along for the ride of all that great shit, but then you got to deal with it when it doesn't go well. And when it doesn't go well, this is the kind of shit that he does. And I do feel that this year is kind of over the top because look, man, like, yeah, you're talking all this. We need to do this. We need to do that. And then you break the record and no one's seen you in a uniform since. And like you said, you scored that number at will. You showed up in the uniform knowing you were scoring that number.
He scored that at will.
At will. It was easy. Right? So yeah, man, that shit's got to be a lot to deal with. And
So
if
let
you're
me ask you
AD
this.
and you're like, man, I get blamed for so much.
Hold on.
I
So
don't wanna deal with this
let's have
shit.
a real conversation. Is that a little bit of the only flaw LeBron has? Maybe
Absolutely.
a little bit of late in his career leadership type of
LeBron's
pieces?
biggest flaw is LeBron. Like I've said, on the basketball court, I don't want to hear anything. Right? If we're just talking basketball, which we tend to do, right? If we're just talking about the hoops aspect, the impact of the game, the impact on winning, the greatness, there is no question. I don't want to hear any basketball conversations about LeBron. But if you want to talk about LeBron, the person, overall, great guy, right? No real public missteps. Great family man, it seems like. Represents himself as a black man well, which is something that I always believe in, right? But you look at LeBron, the teammate, especially in his later years and when shit's not going well, he's not Mr. Accountability. He is not, hey, it's on me. It's on you. Remember the Kevin Love, you need to fit in to fit out shit or whatever the fuck you said?
Yeah, I forgot
remember
about
weird
that.
shit like that?
Yeah,
remember
I forgot about
the
that.
David Blatt, he's a rookie head coach. You constantly call this guy a rookie head coach, even though Blatt had been coaching for like 25 years.
Yeah.
Different shit like that. I think LeBron will 100% undermine you, and it's not privately. I don't know what he does. Privately, he's probably a motherfucker, but publicly, he's on your ass, and he's going to blame you, and he's going to try to get you traded. And if I'm Russ, who has accomplished a lot in this league, is a Hall of Famer, might not have a championship, but damn it, I'm not a fucking chess piece. It's like, fuck you. You wanted me to come here. You called me, motherfucker. I was cool in DC. You called me to come over here and play with you, and the second you don't like it, instead of having my back, you're fucking publicly campaigning to get your weirdo boy who also couldn't wait to get away from you. Let's not forget, Kyrie couldn't wait to get away from that man.
That's true.
After winning a championship. Kyrie had been in a losing situation with Cleveland. They were terrible. LeBron comes, and after 2 years of LeBron, my man's like, yeah, no, hold on. I can't do this anymore. It's too much. And he's a fucking weirdo. So, like, yeah, I think that shit wears on people. Kevin Love was a whipping boy for those Cleveland teams.
Yeah, he was.
Chris Bosh was a whipping boy early on those those Miami squads. They all were. It was never LeBron, bro. So, yeah, I think it's a lot to deal with.
Yeah, I think that's a real conversation that people aren't talking about. There's no question. So, yeah, it is interesting that he kind of makes these essentially GM decisions. They don't work. He packs them up and then says he had nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
me. What?
I didn't want Russ.
What are you talking about? I'm not the GM.
You won a championship with KCP and Kuzma. And you trade him for Russ, and now you don't have any shooting. Well, yeah, you traded away your two best shooters.
Yeah.
And now Kuzma's out here hooping.
Bro, I said that Kuzma could play. He caught a lot of fucking hate in LA. It's tougher to play out there too, no doubt.
Yeah, for sure.
I was gonna say one more thing about LeBron. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's feel this is gonna come off bad, but feels kind of very Aaron Rodgers-ish a little bit.
But the difference is the rings.
Yeah.
And the success.
No. I'm just saying like how he moves a little bit.
It's not my fault.
Yes. And that whole publicly, you don't have to tweet that. Maybe it's me. What does that even mean? What was that? Maybe it's me. Bro, you are LeBron James.
Yeah, calm down, bro. What are we talking about? That shit is weird. That's like
I didn't
shit
get that.
Like my fucking 14-year-old, like fucking
literally.
Come on, dog. Very strange main character shit. Like, yeah, dog. Yeah. It's very. That's what I'm saying. Like shit like that's a lot. And like I think Rodgers is the only difference. And again, you can't understate the rings and the championship impact. But Rodgers does not have the team impact that LeBron does. So you can deal with it a lot more. But it's the same thing where it's not my fault. I'm gonna say weird cryptic shit. I'm never going to be direct. Shit. I'm never going to be direct about anything, right? And it's kind of like, hey, it's those guys' fault, but I want the credit. Give me the credit when it goes right, but when it doesn't go right, I don't want to hear about it. So, like, that shit. When you start playing with superstars and other guys, and remember, he couldn't really be like that in Miami because that was D-Wade's show.
Has he earned that? Has he? Well, I guess the end question is that we're getting to is, I guess, has he earned the way to act like that?
I think the question is, could anybody earn the right to act like that? Right? Like, so we want the flip. Look at Brady. Does Brady act like that? I'm sure behind the scenes, Brady is a motherfucker too. But Brady, you don't see Brady out here fucking. That's why he's the greatest leader in sports. It is very much my guys, because you need these guys with you. You can't trash these guys at every turn. So I don't think anybody's earned the right to be that way. You don't need to be an asshole. This year, LeBron has been an asshole. Since he's been in LA, he's kind of been an asshole. The whole LA situation is weird to me. When I'm watching him break this record in the Lakers, I was watching it with Nikki when I was watching the pregame shit. I'm like, this dude, when I think Lakers, I don't think LeBron. I think James Worthy, who fucking handed him the mic that night more than I think LeBron. So it's just very, very weird. Like the whole thing. I don't think he needed a pregame speech after breaking the record. You had a 10-minute speech in the middle of the game. And then missing all these games afterwards, like, yeah, it's very hypocritical. And we could always say before, it's like, yo, LeBron always played, right? Like peak LeBron, I get it. He's 38. He's putting up crazy numbers.
That's the thing. It's like
he deserves to rest his body, and he's been carrying.
We're not going to tell him to play
but
on a team that's got what 20, 25 wins or whatever
don't
it
say
is.
Shit. Just don't say shit. The public fucking chastising and blaming of teammates is very. I don't like that shit.
Yeah,
it's a team sport.
I agree. No question. So we'll see. We'll see where.
Well, shout out Russ for saying fuck him.
I think the Anthony Davis thing, I think what was him saying fuck this whole shit.
And we assumed that AD was along for the ride. You saw that he wasn't. That was clear, like, yo, fuck this guy.
Fuck all this
shit. That's the biggest fuck you I have ever seen.
It was clear as day.
And he knew the camera would be on him.
Yeah, I don't care what he said. And you know me and LeBron's relationship, and I was mad about losing.
Fuck
that shit's cat.
He's like, I'm gonna in this shit too.
Yeah, like he wasn't feeling that whole situation. So, man, it's really, really interesting. All right, let's talk about Kyrie to Dallas.
Love it. Funny.
You love it.
No, I mean, so I watched last night, and I will say this: very entertaining game last night. I'll say it for the third time. I was on T-Wolves +6. I thought that number was crazy. You guys know I don't say too much, but that I should have put it out on the group chat because I thought that number was very high. And for most of the game, I was right because they were up by 20. In the fourth quarter, Kyrie Irving was doing things.
It was Kyrie.
I haven't seen. Yeah, it was just ridiculous. You saw the full package. The flip side of that is because of that, J Kidd left Luka on the bench for a very long time in the fourth. And when he did finally come in, Luka was very deferential to Kyrie because Kyrie was obviously hot, as he should have been. But it was just interesting to watch Luka come up. Like, you watch Mavericks game, we talk about it. Like, Luka is Mr. Usage Rate, Hall of Fame usage rate guy. Like, I think it's like 37 or something like that. Like, it's off the charts. You know, so most possessions are going to end with Luka making that decision. It was interesting to see him come down and give it to Kyrie. And then on that last possession, it seemed like they both were just kind of playing hot potato.
They got locked up. They were in a tough spot. Yeah, I watched it this morning.
No one really wanted to shoot the ball either. It got it. At one point, one of them had to put that up. It's 3-point ball game. What you can't do is turn it over like they did. So I think that they got to figure that out, and that'll take some time. But look, man, yeah, for sure. Luka's never played with anybody like this. I love the deal if you're Dallas, especially when a lot of the narrative was, hey, they're not doing enough for him, and is Luka going to be the next guy who looks around and is kind of like, what the fuck?
You don't want that to happen.
Hey, we went out and got you Kyrie. It was It was.
You had to do something.
Yeah, low cost. I mean, Dinwiddie and Finney-Smith, great. I think people are making it sound like Dinwiddie and Finney-Smith are like two Hall of Fame players. I think if Kyrie gets his act right, and he might for the rest of the year because there's a lot of money on the line, that deal works out fine. You had to do something. You couldn't have Luka going out there desperado every single night like he was.
For the next, like he has been, and for the next, the rest of the year. And then, I agree 100%.
It wasn't working.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how it goes. This is what, their second game together?
Yeah, both.
That was their second game together?
Looked great, but yeah.
I tweeted this out earlier, and I texted you. We were talking about it. Luka needs to take his body. We've talked about this for years now, but he literally put on weight in a 9-day layoff. It's inexcusable, bro. You can't do that.
That has to be diet. In the middle of the year, you could not work out for 9 days and maintain some shit. He just eats whatever.
Luka Doncic. That was his second game back. He hadn't played since 2-2, February 2nd. In 9 days, it looks like he put on 5, 6, 7 pounds. What are we talking about? Literally chugging water in the fourth quarter. I just watched it 15 minutes ago. He's on the bench chugging water because he put on weight in 9 days. That needs to get taken care of for anything to ever happen with Luka and the Mavs or wherever else he's at. He's going to score 30 at will purely off the fact that he's an offensive wizard and his bot. And I think part of the thing, he likes the bigger frame because he can move motherfuckers around and he can lean on people. But
muscle
man,
weighs more.
He's not in shape, bro.
Do you think part of it's genetics? Because I mean, he does play entire NBA seasons and just doesn't never really look in shape, and that's kind of hard, especially with the way he plays.
Same thing with
it's
Jokic.
not like he's standing around. Yeah.
Jokic
doesn't look as flat. Jokic just has no definition, but Luka looks heavy. Luka looks like heavy. Yeah, Jokic just doesn't have definition. What we've seen from bigs before.
Yeah, man.
But he doesn't look out of shape.
Luka looks strong. Yeah. Luka looks soft.
Yeah. Like you see Luka in street clothes, he looks soft and doughy.
Like he looks doughy like me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
yeah, man. I don't. That's something that needs to get.
So let me ask you this: that's a good comparison, right? So like when you're in shape, if you take 10 days off and bullshit, is it right back because of your frame and how you carry it? Is it right back there on there for you?
like I could put on.
Like you have the Luka type body.
Yes,
height.
I could put on 10 pounds in 10 days. Easy.
Bullshit.
Easy.
Okay.
Easily. So yeah, I mean, you go and kick it, and then you're injured, so you're probably not going too hard anyway, right?
You're eating at night, bullshit.
Yeah, just bullshitting.
Eat a lot of bread.
You can put on weight. So like that's
I think he likes that back home food, man. I think he likes all those
stews
and all the potatoes and all
no
that
doubt.
shit.
And I get it, and I understand it, but man, this is going on year in, year out.
Well, and the crazy thing is, like you see, like we talk about Embiid. To me, is the best example. You see the difference when Embiid started taking care of his body.
Yes,
couldn't do anything with him.
Perfect example.
He was a problem before, but the second he was like, yo, in the last like 2 years, he's really taking care of his body. 3 years, he's been an MVP candidate.
There is a famous clip of fucking Joel Embiid stretching pregame, eating a hamburger.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He was on the side of the court getting stretched pregame, and he was eating a hamburger.
Yeah.
Or cheeseburger, whatever.
Whatever it was.
Like, he's cut that shit out. He's in shape. And next thing you know,
he's healthy all the time.
He has maybe two.
He leads the league in scoring.
He literally maybe has 2 MVPs if he doesn't bump into Jokic. Some of the best offensive years of players ever put up in Jokic. So
he's a candidate for another one this year. So
it's that shit needs to get cleaned up, man. There's no reason you should be missing 10 days in the middle of the NBA season and you show up and you don't look the same than you did 2 weeks ago. Like, that's inexcusable.
Then you got guys like Kawhi who don't play an entire year, and he's
and no one talks about it because he just is offensively just is crazy with it. Man, it needs to get cleaned up. So, anything else you want to talk about? Anything else you thought was a sleeper? Let me see what else I got on here. The Raptors and the Bulls kind of stand pat. They added Jakob.
Yeah.
But that was really it. Clippers got Eric
Gordon. I mean, more shooting. Grizzlies grab Luke Kennard, so the Clippers get off of that deal, which is a terrible deal.
Let's talk about the Knicks real quick.
I like that.
It's awesome. It was an awesome addition.
He's a Thibodeau player.
They add Josh Hart, who
I think we lost Sean, but yeah, the Knicks. We're talking about the Knicks. You back on?
Yeah, I'm here. You got me?
Yeah. No, you said they add Josh Hart, then you cut off.
They add Josh Hart, who does everything you want on a basket. He plays defense.
Yep.
He can shoot.
Yep.
He plays hard. He's a willing passer. He can rebound. Everything you want from a guy Josh Hart brings. He played his ass off last night in his second game with the Knicks. He had 11 points versus Utah.
They're gonna love him. They're gonna love him in New York. You already know. They're gonna love him in New York. He's the type of guy who's gonna get minutes from Tibbs. Like none of that will be a problem.
Bro, he was talking shit last night. He had 27.
Yeah.
Dinwiddie was talking crazy. He told Dinwiddie, the mics picked it up. He said, "You talking a lot of shit to be down 14."
Did Brunson go for 40 last night?
Hey, let's talk about him for a second.
Been talking about him for years.
Still don't get it. Right now in the NBA, he's the best offensive point guard in the league.
Wow, really?
Since the turn of 2023, he's scoring 30 points a night.
Yeah.
6 assists, 5 rebounds. On true shooting of like 61 or 62%. Jalen Brunson has been out of his mind. And he's 6'2", maybe.
Yeah.
His offensive bag is extensive. It's very deep. He knows how to get to the free throw line.
Scores in so many different ways. Yeah,
He handles
he's so
the
much
rock.
fun to watch. Yeah, competes.
He can shoot the three. He's been incredible since the turn of the year in January, and he was really good. Every time I think he's hit the ceiling, I'm like, okay, 24 points a night. That's pretty damn good. This dude looks like he could score 28 a night in the NBA.
Well, and talk about the impact that he's had on Julius Randle. He's allowed Julius Randle to go back to be the best version of Julius Randle, which, like, if you look at last year, Julius Randle was trying to do way too much for this team, and it cost the franchise.
Yeah.
This year, Julius Randle gets to do what Julius Randle does, which is be a matchup fucking nightmare, night in and night out, do his thing, but he doesn't have the pressure of running the entire offense through him.
Also, Julius Randle going to the basket and in transition is one of the best in the league right now.
That's scary.
Very unstoppable. Underrated finisher with his right hand, too. Can do a lot of different things.
Can also initiate offense from the top of the key as a 6'9", 270-pound guy that can also kill you down low. Like, it's really crazy. The things they can do, the dribble handoff stuff with them, like they can do a lot with him because he's such a good passer. And again, when you take it from, we like Julius Randle being a good passer, but we don't need him to be our fucking point guard. But like, let's use his passing as a strength. It's completely different than what it was last year when it was like, oh yeah, you're our point guard. We need you to initiate offense. We need you doing everything. Because Tibbs. If Tibbs has a guy that can initiate offense, he will allow him to do such. So yeah. I love it, man. That's why I love the Josh Hart deal. I thought anytime you can add another guy who absolutely helps you, and you get rid of who? Fucking Cam Reddish, who again you're going to try to sell me on the fact that this guy can play basketball. When all I've seen going back to Duke is that this guy can't play. Well, it's okay. You get rid of him, a guy who was buried to the bench, and you bring in Josh Hart. Yeah,
they got Josh Hart for Reddish, Arcidiacono.
Who I didn't even know was in the league. And a first rounder.
And a one.
That's fine, but that's a move you make when you're the Knicks and you're having a nice little mini surge right now.
No doubt. So
I love
Jalen Brunson has been going ballistic. If I speak on RJ Barrett, I'm in trouble. So I got to stay away from that.
I didn't. Coach, just give a basketball opinion on RJ Barrett.
If I speak, I'm in trouble.
Well,
Jose,
14 days. When it
Jose Mourinho. If I speak, I'm in trouble. No, I just think
overrated.
He's having a hard time figuring out the addition of Brunson and Randle. He's the third option, and when he gets it, he feels like he needs to make something happen and doesn't play within the offense. How about that?
Can I say a question? Can I say one name and you just give me a thumbs up, thumbs down?
Sure.
Is he Karis LeVert?
Absolutely not. What? No. Okay. Karis LeVert is a better offensive player than RJ Barrett offensively. Karis LeVert is
just kind of in the hey, it's my turn. I gotta go. I gotta score. And
yeah, kind of. I mean, that's
you know what I mean.
I think it's tough because
it's
sometimes
like, Darius and Spider don't have it. It's my turn. I gotta do something.
Sometimes it's human nature where it's tough because it's like, man, I don't know when I'm going to see the ball again.
If he was a better shooter, it would all be different.
Yeah, well, that's everybody in the NBA.
Yeah, true.
So yes, but yeah, shout out Jalen Brunson. The Josh Hart edition is good. I think they're going to end up finishing in the 6. I think they're going to make the playoffs.
They're absolutely going to make the playoffs. I really like that. I think they started off the season tough, but they've really rounded into form the last couple months. Like you said, Brunson is morphing into an all NBA guy. How he doesn't make at this point, there's just not enough all-star spots. Like, I think we just need to have this conversation because Jalen Brunson is the definition of all-star. And he's doing it in the largest market in the NBA. So it's kind of crazy that you don't have 2 all-stars from the Knicks. Yeah. But I think they're in a good spot, man. I think they can cause some trouble. I think they're better than Miami. I think that's the type of team that you don't want to play in a 7-game series because of the guys they have. Like, I could see them giving Philly problems. I could see them giving Cleveland problems.
Hey, man, let me ask you this. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. This just popped into my head. Would you ever, I think this is interesting, would you ever bring Russell Westbrook to Milwaukee? Have him come off the bench?
Problem with Milwaukee is this is shooting, but yes, they need energy off the bench. So yeah, I would.
Like why
it's a low risk move. If it doesn't work, bye.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's how you tee it up to him too. Hey, look.
Yeah, come over here, man.
We really like our team.
And they'll love you in Milwaukee. They will fucking love them.
We really think you could bring some energy for us off the bench. If that's not something you're interested in, or would rather not compete, cool. No problem. I think that's interesting.
That's a great move. Yeah, I like it.
I think that's really interesting because I think
the problem is you have to play Giannis with shooting, and he can't shoot. But like you said, if you bring him off the bench and kind of run that second,
him off the bench and let him Don't even play him with Giannis.
Yeah, for sure. Eats up some of those Grayson Allen minutes.
Yeah, Grayson Allen. I know nobody wants to respect him, and I don't either. But he's been really solid. Man.
Yeah, he's okay.
No, he's been good.
Right. Yeah, he's good. I like Grayson Allen.
He's been solid. So
I don't mind that actually. I think Westbrook to why not? It's a low risk move.
Right.
If you're Russ, you could tell them hey man, come compete for a championship. Show these people they were wrong about you.
I also think you see how Phoenix is kind of all in.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like Milwaukee is doing enough with this guy, Giannis, man. Jay Crowder, good addition. I know they've been back and playing a lot better and winning. Empty the fucking clip, bro.
The last big move the Milwaukee Bucks made was Jrue Holiday,
and they won a title.
If you look at,
think about that. That's what I'm saying.
They've been taking Giannis for granted.
Yes, that's what I mean.
100% taking Giannis for granted. They have not made a big move since Jrue Holiday. Since then, you've stood pat. You've left your roster get older. It's this old. I love Jay Crowder too, but it's another old guy.
Right.
So you just keep adding old guys. Wes Matthews, Jay Crowder, Lopez. These guys are great, but add in some youth.
I agree.
You haven't done shit in the draft. I mean, you've traded your draft picks, but you haven't done shit as far as getting anybody in there. Your secondary pieces haven't been that great, and you've made no big swing for the fences moves.
I agree.
You've wasted. Yeah, I think for sure. Last year, you needed to last year.
Nick, the Milwaukee Bucks shouldn't have a draft pick until 2030.
Yeah, ever.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, keep trading them. Yes.
They shouldn't have a draft pick until 2030.
Empty the clip for Giannis.
Empty the clip for Giannis. He's that great.
He's that
Go
great.
get him some other players. I don't really understand that.
He's that great.
I know you don't.
So I think he leaves.
The chemistry is there. I get it. You have a good team. You like that. But you made a huge move in a swing at something. You add Jrue Holiday. They win the title.
Yeah, but you haven't made a big move since.
Go make another big move. Go do something where it's like, oh, man, these dudes. In other words, these dudes could beat Boston.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, they could beat Boston with this dude.
For sure.
Right now, they're getting ready to go head up into a battle they might be a little short-staffed on.
And everybody else has two legit guys offensively. They have one. I like Jrue Holiday. He's an all-star, but he's not. If you look at the duos in the East, look at it. So you got Harden and Embiid. Those two guys are better. Harden's better than Holiday. You look at Tatum and Brown. Brown is better than Holiday. You look at Spider Mitchell and Darius Garland. These are better offensive 1-2 guys. So if you're able to shut down Giannis, or not shut him down, but do whatever you can with him, they got some major issues. Middleton's not right. The Middleton thing is not right now. Love him or hate him, but let's just pretend in your world you think he's a good player. He's not healthy.
Yeah,
he's not healthy, right?
No.
So that's another issue. When guys aren't healthy after long, this is another last year injury. When last year injuries happen and you're not healthy coming into this year, it's a problem for me.
Yeah,
it's a problem for me.
Also,
he hasn't looked healthy. He's been in and out the lineup.
Also, Jay Crowder hasn't played in 8 months?
Yeah. Terry was big on that. He's like, don't sell me on a guy who hasn't played 9 months.
No, real shit though. I like the addition. Jay Crowder hasn't. I don't even know what Jay Crowder looks like right now. He could look like Luka.
He could.
I'm excited to see him get over there because I like Jay Crowder. I like his game. I like his
Jay
heart.
Crowder. Yeah.
But he hasn't played in 8 months.
In
In other words, in 2 years, the only thing that's happened is Giannis continues to ascend. Middleton
He's been getting better.
Middleton gets hurt and has been in and out of the lineup. You do nothing on the roster side of the team.
Wait, don't undersell that. Giannis is a better player than the guy you won the championship with. He's a better player. This is a better version of Giannis. Every year he's gotten better. He continues to get better, but you're not making the pieces around him better. You're still going to war with the same exact guys. You have not made a marquee move since Jrue Holiday.
I agree.
And you're wasting it away. I'm saying this guy's going to ask out. Give it a couple of years. He's going to say LA, Chicago, those guys look great. Miami, that's great over there. I like South Beach. It's great.
Maybe they just look at it as the only team in the East they got to get through is Boston, so we feel like we could beat Boston. That's the only explanation I could come up with.
Yeah,
but like, even go get Bogdanovich from Detroit, like anything.
Yeah, they said they weren't going to trade him, but that's cap. That's just driving up the price.
Yeah. Yes, bro. Go do something, bro.
But even
You know what I mean?
You get Joe Ingles. That's a Miami. When Joe Ingles got released, I was like, that guy's going to the Bucks. He should. No other team should even call because that's the most Bucksy move possible. I like Joe Ingles. You like Joe Ingles. He's nice, but he's a Buck. That is 100% the type of move that they're going to make. Oh, we like Joe Ingles, another fucking old guy that's tall and shoots threes. Let's stick him in the corner. And Giannis, don't worry, Giannis will get us 50 when we need 50.
Right. That's just what it seems like, man.
And be the best defender.
Yeah, it just seems like they're getting real cozy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
and eventually he's gonna look around and be like, man, this is too much for me every night.
Yeah. All right, before we get out of here. Is it the Suns now?
Out the West? No, it's still Denver. But it's gonna be the Suns it's gonna be the Suns very quickly. Don't let that thing start clicking.
We just got to see it, huh?
When you look at those are two offensive players, the likes of which we've never seen playing together. I think you could talk about that Nets team those Nets teams that were supposed to be. But if you get this is peak Book. We're in peak Book right now. Like Book is in its absolute prime, and KD has been in the prime for years.
And they got a guy pulling the strings.
Yeah, and you have a beyond serviceable big.
Yeah, man.
Aiden is good. He's just not a number one pick. But if you tell me that Aiden's your big, he's good. We've seen Aiden be a championship level big before. So you got those guys going. And the fact with Durant, man, look, we talk about it all the time. There's no feeling out process. That man is plug and play. Just find me my 14 to 15 shots and I'm good. Don't worry. You find me 14 to 15, I'm going to give you 28 to 30 every night. Book, you can take as many shots as you want to. CP doesn't need to shoot until the fourth quarter. So you're going to plug that man in there. And how do you decide to guard between Book and KD? What do you do?
Yeah, I'm looking at the rest of the roster.
Who cares?
They still got Bismack. They still got Bismack down there that'll help too in the playoffs. Big body.
Oh, and guys are going to come. Buyout candidates are going to come. Kevin Love will be there. Kevin Love will be there.
Shout out my guy, Landry Shamet.
Shout out Landry Shamet too, man. Kevin Love will be there. And then your buyout guys are going to be there.
What about, you think TJ Warren has got anything left?
Nah, man. TJ Warren is only good when there's no pressure of the outside world. Folks is done. He's going to pack it up. He's like, I'm back out in Phoenix. I got too many chicks out here. I've been out here before. Why would you guys bring me back? Dog, hey, I'm telling you, he 100% personal life must be in shambles because as soon as he got in the bubble, he had nothing to worry about. My man turned into
cooking, bro. He was cooking, motherfuckers.
Hey, baby, I don't know. I'm not home.
I'm not home. I can't take a call.
I can't show up. No, I can't.
So it's still Denver right now for you.
Yeah, it's still Denver, but like I said, I think it's going to turn into Phoenix real quick. But it's still Denver. Denver's been the best team in the West from start to finish.
Yeah.
The Memphis thing to me is a little. There's things I don't like about Memphis, and it's mainly them. It's a little too much. It was cool for a while.
There's too much going on.
Too many. Now we got Ja pointing guns, Dylan Brooks hitting people in the nuts. I've been telling you about Ja. Ja was on a slippery slope last year too. I thought when I saw Ja's offseason, I was concerned.
What was the tweet? What he said? He said it's free to feel. It's free to see how hollows feel. That's what he said.
Like dog. When he was drunk every day in the summer at like 9 a.m., I was like, yeah, this isn't good. And he was live streaming it. I was like, this probably isn't great. I saw some of his guys. I saw his boys too. I was like, yeah, these aren't the niggas you bring with.
All right, man. We're gonna leave it there on no catch up. We gave y'all 145 because we missed last week, man. We'll see y'all next week. For Big Nick the Quick, I am your host, Sean Little. Make sure you subscribe everywhere. Tell the homies to tell a homie to tell a friend. We'll see y'all next week.